The Galactic Ambush. The gleaming spires of the Galactic Council's central citadel pierced the star-studded void of space, a testament to the combined technological prowess of 1,000 alien races. As the small Earth shuttle approached, Ambassador Sarah Chen felt a mixture of awe and trepidation. This was humanity's big moment, their chance to finally take their place among the stars. "Steady now," she murmured to herself, smoothing down her crisp Navy uniform. Beside her, Dr. Rajesh Patel, Earth's foremost xenobiologist, fidgeted with his datapad. "Do you think they'll like us?" Rajesh asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Sarah managed a tight smile. "They'd better. We've come too far to turn back now." As their shuttle docked, a wave of alien chatter washed over them. The Citadel's docking bay was a riot of color and sound, filled with beings of every conceivable shape and size. Some floated on anti-gravity platforms, others slithered on multiple appendages, and a few seemed to phase in and out of reality itself. A tall, willowy being with iridescent skin approached them. "Greetings, Earthlings. I am Zaxleary, your liaison to the Council. Please, follow me." As they walked through the winding corridors of the Citadel, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The aliens they passed seemed to be whispering, shooting furtive glances their way. Some even snickered openly. "Is everything all right, Zaxleary?" Sarah asked, her diplomatic instincts on high alert. The alien's face rippled in what might have been a smile. "Oh yes, Ambassador. The Council is most eager to meet you." They entered a vast, circular chamber. Tiered seating rows in concentric rings, each filled with representatives from different alien species. At the center stood a holographic platform, currently dark. As Sarah and Rajesh took their seats, a hush fell over the chamber. A bulbous, tentacled being floated to the center. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," it burbled, its translator conveying a tone of barely concealed amusement. "We are gathered here today to welcome the newest applicants for Council membership, the humans of Earth." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Sarah stood, ready to deliver her carefully prepared speech, but the tentacled being waved her down. "Before we hear from our guests," it continued, "the Jaxthar Concordat has prepared a special presentation. After all, we must ensure that any potential new members are capable of contributing to our illustrious organization." Sarah's heart sank. The Jaxthar were notorious for their technological superiority and disdain for lesser species. This couldn't be good. The holographic platform hummed to life, projecting a detailed image of Earth and its solar system. A gravelly voice, dripping with condescension, filled the chamber. "Behold, the mighty defenses of Earth." The image zoomed in, showing Earth's orbital satellites and fledgling space stations. Laughter erupted from various sections of the audience. "Observe their primitive projectile weapons, barely capable of leaving their own atmosphere," the voice mocked. The hologram displayed images of Earth's most advanced fighter jets and rockets, which suddenly looked woefully inadequate in this cosmic context. Sarah gripped the edges of her seat, knuckles white. This was a setup, a carefully orchestrated humiliation. She glanced at Rajesh, who looked like he wanted to sink into the floor. The presentation continued mercilessly. Earth's nuclear arsenals were dismissed as quaint fission toys. The International Space Station was labeled a charming orbiting shack. With each new jab, the laughter in the chamber grew louder. Finally, the hologram shifted to show a simulation of Earth attempting to defend itself against a mock invasion. Tiny holographic ships tried valiantly to fend off sleek alien attackers, only to be swatted aside with embarrassing ease. "And this, esteemed colleagues," the Jaxthar voice concluded, "is the species that believes itself ready to join our ranks." The chamber erupted in raucous laughter. Some aliens were literally rolling in their seats, while others emitted high-pitched squeals of amusement. Sarah felt her face burning with a mixture of shame and anger. She stood abruptly, her chair screeching against the floor. The laughter slowly died down as all eyes turned to her. "Distinguished members of the Council," she began, her voice steely with determination. "I won't deny that Earth's technology may seem primitive compared to your own. But I assure you, what we lack in advanced weaponry, we make up for in other ways." A few snickers echoed through the chamber, but Sarah pressed on. "Humanity has faced countless challenges throughout its history. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive tendencies. Each time, we've emerged stronger, more resilient." She paused, making eye contact with as many alien delegates as she could. "We may not have the biggest ships or the most powerful weapons, but we have something that can't be measured by your holograms: an indomitable spirit and an unparalleled ability to adapt." The chamber had grown quiet now, a mix of curiosity and skepticism replacing the earlier mockery. "You've shown us simulations of our weaknesses," Sarah continued, her voice growing stronger. "But you fail to account for our greatest strength, our unity in the face of adversity. Earth doesn't stand alone. We come before you as a single, united planet, ready to learn, grow, and contribute to this galactic community." She took a deep breath, preparing for her final push. "Mock our technology if you must, but do not underestimate our potential. We—" Suddenly, the chamber plunged into darkness. Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd. When the lights flickered back on, a new hologram dominated the center of the room. It showed a massive ship, unlike anything Earth had ever produced. Its hull gleamed with an alien alloy, and strange, pulsing artifacts were embedded along its length. It dwarfed even the largest vessels in the known galaxy. A collective gasp echoed through the chamber. Sarah's jaw dropped. This wasn't part of the plan. What was going on? A familiar voice boomed through the Citadel speakers. "Admiral Elena Chen, Sarah's mother and the head of Earth's fledgling space force. Greetings, Galactic Council. I hope we're not interrupting anything important." The hologram zoomed out, revealing not one, but an entire fleet of these colossal ships, emerging from what appeared to be an artificial wormhole. Admiral Chen's voice carried a hint of amusement. "We thought we'd drop by and introduce ourselves properly. After all, it's only polite to bring a housewarming gift when joining a new community." The chamber erupted into chaos. Delegates were shouting, demanding explanations. The Jaxthar representative looked like they might faint. Sarah exchanged a bewildered glance with Rajesh. This was either a miracle or the beginning of a diplomatic nightmare. As the pandemonium continued around them, Admiral Chen's voice cut through once more. "Now then, shall we discuss the terms of Earth's membership like civilized beings? We have so much to learn from each other." The galactic ambush had backfired spectacularly. In a matter of moments, humanity had gone from a laughingstock to the most intriguing and potentially dangerous new player in galactic politics. And this was only the beginning. Defiance in the depths of space. The Horsehead Nebula loomed large on the view screen, its swirling clouds of gas and dust concealing secrets that had eluded astronomers for centuries. But for Admiral Elena Chen, the nebula's greatest secret lay not in its natural wonders, but in what it hid from prying eyes. "Status report," Chen barked, her steely gaze fixed on the silent fleet arrayed before her. Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka's fingers danced across her console. "All ships reporting ready, Admiral. The Thunderchild and her sisters are fully operational and awaiting your command." Chen allowed herself a small smile. Years of clandestine work, secret alliances, and technological leaps had led to this moment. The future of humanity hung in the balance, and she'd be damned if she'd let some stuck-up aliens mock her species into obscurity. A priority communication alert flashed on her personal screen. It was from Sarah, her daughter, and Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council. Chen's smile faded as she read the message, her jaw tightening with each word. "Those arrogant, pompous," she muttered, not bothering to finish the thought. She took a deep breath, composing herself before addressing her crew. "It seems our esteemed colleagues in the Galactic Council have decided to give humanity a rather rude welcome." Murmurs of discontent rippled through the bridge. Chen raised a hand, silencing them. But that's exactly what we anticipated, isn't it? Operation Thunderchild was always meant for this moment. She strode to the center of the bridge, her presence commanding the attention of every officer present. For too long, humanity has been dismissed as a backwater species, barely worthy of notice. We've been underestimated, mocked, and exploited by races that think their advanced technology makes them our superiors. Chen's eyes blazed with a fierce determination. But they've forgotten a crucial lesson, one that we've learned time and time again throughout our history. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And let me tell you, we've got one hell of a fight in us. She gestured to the view screen, where the imposing silhouettes of Earth's secret fleet hung against the backdrop of the nebula. These ships represent not just human ingenuity, but the power of cooperation and adaptation. We've taken the best of what the galaxy has to offer and made it our own. The Admiral's mind wandered to the early days of the project, when a group of alien outlaws, outcasts from their own societies, had approached Earth with an offer too good to refuse: advanced technology in exchange for a safe haven. It had been a gamble, but one that had paid off beyond their wildest dreams. Each of these ships, Chen continued, carries within it the legacy of a dozen alien races. The Zorlath energy cores, Praxian phase shift armor, Kukuxi quantum computers, all adapted and improved by human hands. We've done in decades what took other races centuries. Lieutenant Commander Tanaka spoke up, her voice tinged with concern. Admiral, are you sure we're ready for this? The Council races have millennia of spacefaring experience. We're still newcomers to the galactic stage. Chen fixed Tanaka with a steady gaze. Ready or not, the time has come. Humanity won't be relegated to a footnote in galactic history. We'll write our own chapter, in bold strokes that no one can ignore. She turned back to the view screen, studying the fleet that represented humanity's defiance. The HSS Thunderchild, their flagship, was a marvel of hybrid technology. Its sleek lines belied the raw power contained within its hull. Flanking it were its sister ships, the Excalibur, the Masamune, and the Gungnir, each named for legendary weapons from human mythology. What we lack in experience, Chen said, her voice low but intense, we make up for in innovation and sheer audacity. The Council races have grown complacent, set in their ways. They can't imagine a solution that doesn't fit their preconceived notions of how the universe should work. She chuckled, a sound that held more irony than humor. Hell, half of the tech we're using was discarded by other races as impractical or unstable. It took human creativity to see the potential, to refine and combine these cast-offs into something greater than the sum of its parts. A junior officer nervously cleared his throat. But Admiral, won't revealing our fleet be seen as an act of aggression? We could be starting a war. Chen nodded, acknowledging the valid concern. It's a calculated risk, Ensign. But remember, we're not looking for a fight. This is about changing the narrative, forcing the Council to see us as equals rather than as primitive upstarts. She began pacing the bridge, her steps measured and purposeful. Our mission is to protect Earth and secure our place in the galactic community. If we have to ruffle a few feathers, or tentacles, or whatever the hell some of these aliens have, to do it, so be it. The Admiral paused, her gaze sweeping across the faces of her crew. She saw determination there, mixed with a healthy dose of apprehension. Good. A little fear would keep them sharp. I won't lie to you, Chen said, her voice solemn. What we're about to do will change the course of human history. There's no guarantee of success, and the risks are enormous. But the alternative, allowing humanity to be sidelined and exploited, is unacceptable. She straightened, squaring her shoulders. Each of you was chosen for this mission because you represent the best of what humanity has to offer. Your skills, your adaptability, your unwavering spirit. These are the qualities that will see us through. Chen's fingers brushed against a small locket she wore, a gift from Sarah years ago. Her daughter was out there, facing the scorn of the Galactic Council. It was time to even the odds. "Lieutenant Commander Tanaka," she said, her voice ringing with authority, "prepare the fleet for translight jump. Plot a course for the Galactic Council Citadel." Tanaka's hands flew across her console. "Course plotted and locked in, Admiral. Awaiting your command." Chen took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Billions of lives on Earth, unknowing of the drama unfolding light years away, were counting on them. Countless generations of humans had looked to the stars, dreaming of this day. She would not let them down. "Send a message to all ships," she ordered. "Operation Thunderchild is go. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do." The bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Officers relayed commands, systems hummed to life, and an air of electric anticipation filled the air. As the first ships began to enter the artificial wormhole, their hulls gleaming with the reflected light of distant stars, Admiral Elena Chen allowed herself a moment of quiet pride. Whatever happened next, humanity would face it standing tall, unbowed by the vastness of the cosmos or the judgment of alien races. The die was cast. The HSS Thunderchild and its fleet surged forward, carrying with them the hopes and defiance of an entire species. The depths of space, once a barrier, now became the stage for humanity's bold entrance onto the galactic scene. As her ship entered the wormhole, Chen whispered a phrase that had driven human explorers for centuries: "Per aspera ad astra," through hardships to the stars. The hardships had been many, but now, finally, the stars were within reach. Chaos at the Citadel. The Galactic Council Citadel hung in space like a glittering jewel, its crystalline spires reflecting the light of 1,000 stars. Inside the grand chamber, the cacophony of alien voices had barely begun to subside following Ambassador Sarah Chen's impassioned speech. The air was thick with tension, a palpable sense of unease settling over the assembled delegates. Zax Leary, the willowy alien liaison, approached Sarah with an expression that might have been concern. It was hard to tell with their ever-shifting iridescent features. "Ambassador Chen, I must advise you that your outburst may have consequences. The Council does not take kindly to." A deafening alarm cut through the chamber, drowning out Zax Leary's words. Red warning lights bathed the room in an eerie glow as panicked shouts erupted from all corners. "Unauthorized spatial anomaly detected," a disembodied voice boomed. "All personnel, prepare for possible incursion." Sarah exchanged a bewildered glance with Dr. Rajesh Patil. This wasn't part of any protocol they'd been briefed on. As chaos engulfed the chamber, with delegates scrambling for exits or activating personal shield devices, a massive holographic display flickered to life at the center of the room. The image showed the space immediately surrounding the Citadel. A colossal tear in the fabric of space-time was forming, its edges crackling with energy of impossible colors. As the assembled aliens watched in horror, something began to emerge from the rift. First came the prow, a sleek design that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Then the main body of the ship appeared, dwarfing even the largest vessels in the Citadel's defense fleet. Embedded in its hull were pulsing artifacts of clearly alien origin, each thrumming with barely contained power. "By the cosmic egg," a multi-limbed delegate gasped. "What manner of vessel is that?" As if in answer, the ship's hull shimmered, revealing a name emblazoned in crisp, unmistakably human letters: HSS Thunderchild. A ripple of shock passed through the chamber. All eyes turned to Sarah, who stood rooted to the spot, her mouth agape. This was her mother's doing, she realized. Somehow, Earth had been keeping secrets from its own ambassador. More ships emerged from the rift, each as imposing as the last. The Excalibur, its hull gleaming with a pearlescent sheen. The Masamune, trailing wisps of what looked like liquid starlight. The Gumnir, crackling with barely contained electromagnetic energy. Pandemonium erupted in the council chamber. Some delegates were demanding immediate military action, while others called for diplomatic caution. A few were simply trying to flee, convinced that the apocalypse had arrived in the form of these mysterious human vessels. Amidst the chaos, The central communication system crackled to life. Admiral Alina Chen's face appeared on every screen in the Citadel, her expression a mixture of determination and barely concealed satisfaction. "Greetings, esteemed members of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice cutting through the din. "I hope we're not interrupting anything important." Sarah stepped forward, her diplomat's training kicking in despite her shock. "Mother, what is the meaning of this? You're violating at least a dozen interstellar protocols." Alina's expression softened slightly at the sight of her daughter. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Sarah. But desperate times call for desperate measures. We couldn't let Earth be dismissed as a backwater planet any longer." The Jackstar representative, the same bulbous, tentacled being who had orchestrated Earth's earlier humiliation, pushed its way to the front. "This is an outrage," it burbled. "You dare to threaten the Galactic Council. Your primitive species will be—" "Careful now," Alina interrupted, her voice dangerously calm. "You might want to take a closer look at our primitive ships before you finish that sentence." As if on cue, the Thunderchild's gravity drive activated. The effect was immediate and stunning. Smaller ships and debris began to orbit the massive vessel, caught in its gravitational pull. Several council members floated helplessly from their seats, their personal anti-grav units overwhelmed by the ship's power. Panic threatened to overtake the chamber, but Sarah's voice cut through the noise. "Everyone, please remain calm. This is clearly a misunderstanding. Admiral Chen, I demand an explanation." Alina nodded, a hint of pride in her eyes. "Of course, Ambassador. For years, Earth has been quietly collaborating with various, let's call them independent contractors from across the galaxy. Outcasts, rebels, and freethinkers who saw potential in humanity that the Council chose to ignore." The Admiral gestured to her ship. "The Thunderchild and her sister ships represent the culmination of that collaboration. Hybrid technology, combining the best of what the galaxy has to offer with human ingenuity and adaptability." A murmur of disbelief rippled through the chamber. The Kuhuxi representative, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, spoke up. "Impossible. Some of those artifacts, their precursor technology, no one has been able to activate them in millennia." "Perhaps," Alina replied with a slight smirk, "you simply lack the proper perspective. Humanity has a knack for seeing potential where others see only relics." As the implications of Alina's words sank in, the mood in the chamber began to shift. Fear and outrage gave way to curiosity, and in some cases, grudging respect. Zaxxiliri approached the central platform, their iridescent skin flickering with rapid color changes. "Admiral Chen, while your demonstration is certainly impressive, you must understand the position you've put the Council in. This show of force could be seen as an act of war." Alina's expression hardened. "It's only an act of war if you choose to see it that way. We're not here to fight. We're here to claim our rightful place in the galactic community." She paused, letting her words sink in. "For too long, humanity has been dismissed, underestimated, and exploited. We've been denied access to advanced technology and kept in the dark about the true nature of galactic politics. That ends today." Sarah, recovering from her initial shock, stepped forward. What the Admiral means to say is that Earth is ready for full membership in the Galactic Council. We've clearly demonstrated our technological capabilities. Now we seek only equal footing and the opportunity to contribute to the greater galactic community." A tense silence fell over the chamber. The Council members exchanged uncertain glances, clearly torn between their fear of this new human fleet and their curiosity about the technological marvels it represented. Finally, the Arcturian Empress, a being of living crystal who served as the Council's current chairperson, spoke. "This is highly irregular, but these are clearly irregular times. Ambassador Chen, Admiral Chen, humanity has certainly succeeded in getting our attention." She paused, her faceted eyes glinting in the dim light. "Perhaps it is time for the Galactic Council to reassess its position on Earth's membership. But know this, Actions have consequences. The trust you have broken today will not be easily repaired. As murmurs of agreement echoed through the chamber, Sarah and Elena exchanged a look. They had achieved their goal. Humanity would no longer be ignored. But as the Thunderchild loomed large in the view screen, its alien artifacts pulsing with barely understood power, one question hung unspoken in the air. At what cost? Trial by fire. The tense standoff at the Galactic Council Citadel had stretched into its third hour. The HSS Thunderchild and its sister ships hung in space, a silent testament to humanity's newfound power. Inside the council chamber, debates raged on about how to handle Earth's audacious display. Ambassador Sarah Chen massaged her temples, feeling the onset of a migraine. "Admiral," she addressed her mother's hologram, "I hope you realize the diplomatic nightmare you've created." Elena Chen's holographic form shimmered slightly as she shrugged. "Sometimes you need to break a few eggs to make an omelette, Sarah. Besides, I think we've made our point quite." A piercing alarm cut through the chamber, drowning out the rest of Elena's words. The main view screen flickered to life, showing a sea of red dots approaching the Citadel at alarming speed. Multiple hostile signatures detected. A panicked voice announced over the comms, "It's the Crimson Nebula Pirates. They're launching a full-scale attack." The chamber erupted into chaos once more. Alien delegates scrambled for safety, their earlier bravado evaporating in the face of genuine danger. The Arcturian Empress's crystalline form pulsed with agitation as she turned to Sarah. "Ambassador Chen," she said, her voice surprisingly calm, "it seems the universe has decided to test your claims of humanity's worth sooner rather than later." Sarah's eyes widened as she realized the implications. This was it, humanity's trial by fire. She nodded grimly and opened a channel to the Thunderchild. "Admiral Chen, I hope your ship is as capable as you claim. The Citadel is under attack, and I'm officially requesting Earth's assistance in its defense." Elena's hologram smiled, a predatory glint in her eye. "Music to my ears, Ambassador." Thunderchild Actual, signing off. The view screen shifted to show the space around the Citadel. The pirate fleet was an impressive sight, hundreds of ships of various sizes, all bristling with weapons. They were led by a massive Dreadnought, its hull scarred and pitted from countless battles. Crimson Nebula flagship identified. A council technician announced, "It's the Blitide, commanded by the infamous Captain Zarkov." As the pirates approached, the Citadel's defensive fleet moved to intercept. But it was clear they were outgunned and outmaneuvered. The pirate ships tore through the first line of defense with ease, their weapons leaving trails of destruction in their wake. Just as all seemed lost, the Thunderchild and its sister ships sprang into action. They moved with a grace that belied their massive size, taking up defensive positions around the Citadel. "This is Admiral Chen to all Earth ships." Elena's voice rang out. "Activate Chimera protocols. Let's show these pirates what happens when you mess with humanity and our allies." The effect was immediate and stunning. The hull of each Earth ship began to shimmer and shift, the alien artifacts embedded in their surface coming to life. The Thunderchild's gravity drive activated, creating a localized field that sent smaller pirate ships spinning out of control. The Excalibur unleashed a barrage of energy weapons that seemed to phase in and out of reality, bypassing the pirates' shields completely. The Masamune projected a field of quantum uncertainty, causing enemy targeting systems to go haywire. And the Gungnerd lived up to its namesake, launching projectiles that split into multiple warheads mid-flight, each seeking out a different target. In the council chamber, the alien delegates watched in awe as the human ships turned the tide of battle. Sarah felt a surge of pride, tempered by the sobering realization of just how much Earth had been keeping secret. "Remarkable," the Kuuxi representative murmured, its energy form pulsating with excitement. "They've managed to hybridize technologies that we've long considered incompatible. The applications are endless." The Jaxthar delegate, however, was less impressed. "This changes nothing," it burbled angrily. "They're still primitives, merely playing with toys they don't understand." As if to prove the Jack-Star wrong, the Thunderchild executed a maneuver that left even veteran space tacticians speechless. It opened a series of micro-wormholes around itself, using them to redirect enemy fire back at the pirate fleet. Ships that had been attacking the Citadel suddenly found themselves under assault from their own weapons. But the pirates weren't going down without a fight. The Blood Tide, realizing the threat posed by the Earth ships, changed tactics. It began charging its main cannon, a weapon capable of cracking a small moon. Energy spike detected. Lieutenant Commander Tanaka's voice crackled over the comms. "They're powering up some kind of super weapon. Impact in 30 seconds. Sarah's heart raced. The Citadel's shields were already strained. They'd never withstand a blast of that magnitude. She turned to Admiral Chen's hologram, silently pleading for a solution. Alina's face was a mask of concentration. "Thunderchild, divert all power to the four shields. Excalibur, Masamune, initiate Protocol Aegis. Gungnir, prepare to return fire the moment they shoot." As the Blood Tide's cannon reached full charge, an eerie silence fell over the battlefield. The Thunderchild positioned itself directly in the line of fire, its sister ships forming a protective triangle around it. The pirate Dreadnought fired, a lance of pure energy streaking across space towards the Citadel. But instead of impacting the Thunderchild's shields, the beam seemed to splinter and fragment. The Excalibur and Masamune had created a field of fractured spacetime, diffusing the energy of the attack. What little remained of the beam was absorbed by the Thunderchild's shields, which glowed bright enough to rival a small star. For a moment, it seemed as if the great ship might be overwhelmed. Then, with a pulse that sent ripples through the fabric of space itself, the Thunderchild redirected the absorbed energy. The Gungnir, true to its name, launched this concentrated bolt of power directly at the Blood Tide. The pirate flagship's shields crumpled like tissue paper, and the mighty ship was split in two by its own reflected attack. With their leader destroyed and their greatest weapon neutralized, the remaining pirate ships began to retreat. Some tried to jump to hyperspace, only to find their engines disabled by the lingering effects of the Earth ship's exotic technologies. As the last of the pirate vessels were rounded up by the recovering Citadel defense fleet, a stunned silence fell over the council chamber. The alien delegates stared at the view screen, then at Sarah, then back at the screen. The Arcturian Empress was the first to speak. "Ambassador Chen," she said, her crystalline form glittering with what might have been admiration. "I believe we owe you and your people a debt of gratitude. And perhaps an apology." Sarah nodded graciously, even as her mind raced with the implications of what had just transpired. Earth had proven its worth beyond any doubt. But at what cost? The galaxy now knew of their technological prowess, and of the potential threat they posed. As the adrenaline of battle faded, Sarah realized that the real challenge was just beginning. Humanity had earned its place at the galactic table, but now they would have to navigate the treacherous waters of interstellar politics, where today's allies could easily become tomorrow's enemies. The trial by fire was over, but the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was just beginning. Humanity's gambit. The aftermath of the battle hung in the air like a static charge, both in the vastness of space surrounding the Galactic Council Citadel and within its grand chamber. The HSS Thunderchild and its sister ships had resumed their vigilant positions, their hulls still humming with residual energy from the conflict. Inside the chamber, an uneasy silence had fallen over the assembled delegates as they grappled with the implications of what they had just witnessed. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the center of the chamber, her posture rigid but her eyes blazing with determination. Beside her, the holographic form of Admiral Alina Chen flickered slightly, a reminder of the technological marvel that had just saved them all. The Arcturian Empress, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light in mesmerizing patterns, was the first to break the silence. "Ambassador Chen, Admiral Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I extend our deepest gratitude for your intervention. Without Earth's assistance, I fear the outcome of this day would have been tragically different." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber, but Sarah could sense an undercurrent of tension. Gratitude, it seemed, was tempered by fear and suspicion. The Jaxthar representative, its tentacles writhing with agitation, spoke up. "Gratitude? Have you all lost your minds? These humans have deceived us. They've been harboring advanced technology, violating countless regulations. For all we know, they could have orchestrated this entire attack." Indignant shouts erupted from various corners of the chamber. The Kuuxi delegate's energy form pulsed erratically as it countered. "Preposterous. The humans saved us. Their technology, while surprising, was used in our defense." As the debate threatened to spiral out of control, Admiral Chen's hologram stepped forward. "Esteemed members of the Council," she began, her voice cutting through the chaos, "I understand your concerns. Yes, Earth has kept secrets. Yes, we've developed technology beyond what we've previously revealed. But consider this, had we not done so, this citadel, and many of you would likely not be here now." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We didn't come here to threaten or to dominate. We came to claim our rightful place among the stars, as equals." Sarah, seizing the moment, added, "What, my mother? What the Admiral means is that Earth is ready for full membership in the Galactic Council. We've demonstrated not only our technological capabilities, but also our commitment to the greater good of the galactic community." The chamber buzzed with whispered conversations and heated debates. The Arcturian Empress raised a crystalline appendage, calling for order. "Ambassador Chen speaks of membership, but the situation is far more complex now. Admiral Chen, I must ask, what is the true extent of Earth's capabilities?" Alina's holographic form seemed to stand a little straighter. "The ships you've seen today represent the pinnacle of our current technology. But it's not the ships themselves that are our greatest asset. It's the minds that created them." She gestured to the view screen, which now showed images of the Thunderchild's hybrid systems. "What you see here is the result of human ingenuity combined with the knowledge of those the Council has cast aside. Outcasts, rebels, visionaries. We gave them a home and a purpose. Together, we've pushed the boundaries of what's possible." The Zaxiliriles, and their iridescent skin flickering with rapid color changes, stepped forward. "Are you saying that Earth has been a haven for criminals and renegades?" "Criminals?" Alina scoffed. "No, visionaries whom the Council was too short-sighted to appreciate." "Absolutely." Before the situation could escalate, Sarah interjected. "What the Admiral means is that Earth has always been a melting pot of cultures and ideas. We've simply extended that philosophy to the stars. Our goal has never been to hoard knowledge or power, but to foster innovation for the benefit of all." She took a deep breath, knowing her next words could change the course of human history. "That's why we're prepared to offer the Council a deal. Full membership for Earth, in exchange for open collaboration on our technological advancements." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. Some delegates were intrigued by the prospect of accessing Earth's innovations, while others warned of the dangers of allowing a primitive species such influence. The Arcturian Empress called for silence once more. "Ambassador Chen, you present an intriguing proposal. But surely you understand the position you've put us in. Your ships, impressive as they are, could be seen as a threat." Admiral Chen's hologram nodded solemnly. "We're aware of how this might appear. That's why we're prepared to take the first step." She turned to address her fleet. "All Earth ships, power down primary weapon systems. Disengage Chimera protocols." On the view screen, the assembled delegates watched in awe as the Thunderchild and its sisters dimmed, the pulsing alien artifacts on their hulls going dark. It was a gesture of trust, and a gamble that left Earth vulnerable if the Council chose to retaliate. Sarah's heart raced, but she kept her voice steady. "This is humanity's gambit. We come in peace, seeking partnership, not domination. We offer our innovation, our adaptability, and our unique perspective. In return, we ask for equal standing and the opportunity to contribute to a brighter future for all species. The Kuuksi representative's energy form brightened with excitement. The potential applications of human hybrid technology are staggering. Think of the advancements we could make in medicine, in space exploration, in energy production, or in weaponry, the Jacksthar countered darkly. How can we trust the humans won't use this power against us? The Arcturian Empress considered for a long moment, her crystalline form refracting the tense atmosphere of the chamber. Trust, she finally said, is earned. Humanity has shown both great power and great restraint today. Perhaps it is time for the Council to take a leap of faith. She turned to address the entire chamber. I propose a probationary period. Earth will be granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council with full voting rights. In return, they will share their technological advancements under strict oversight. After one galactic standard year, we will reconvene to assess humanity's contribution and determine their final status. The chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. It was an unprecedented move, but these were unprecedented times. All in favor? The Empress asked. Slowly, tentatively at first, then with growing confidence, appendages, tentacles, and energy signatures were raised in assent. It wasn't unanimous, but it was a clear majority. The Empress turned to Sarah and Alina. Ambassador Chen, Admiral Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I officially welcome Earth as a provisional member. May this new era of cooperation bring prosperity to all our peoples. As the chamber erupted in a mixture of applause and murmured concerns, Sarah and Alina exchanged a look of triumph tinged with the weight of responsibility. Humanity had won its place among the stars, but the real work was just beginning. The gambit had paid off, but the game was far from over. As Earth stepped onto the galactic stage, new challenges, new alliances, and new threats loomed on the cosmic horizon. But for the first time in human history, they would face the future not as a solitary species on a small blue planet, but as part of a vast, complex, and wondrous galactic community. The stars, once distant and unreachable, now beckoned with the promise of a shared destiny. Humanity's next great adventure was about to begin.